Hi everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, so this is another one of my how I do embarrassing things video, or like yeah, me and my crazy hijinks. All right, so I have to start this story out by saying that technology and I don't necessarily agree on many things most of the time, and you know, that's probably one of the reasons why I'm with my husband, because I'm fine with any living thing. Okay, plants, animals, people, and he's great with any. He can tinker with anything and fix it, and he thinks he can't, but he can, and he does all the time. And he's great with computers. He's anything. It doesn't matter. He can do them. So I take care of one half of everything. He takes care of the other half of everything. Well, it doesn't help me when I'm not with him, right? So I don't really exactly know why it is that I applied for a job as a projectionist in a movie theater. Because I thought that, I used to watch my grandfather run his millimeter camera all the time, blah, blah, blah. And that was like a major part of my childhood. He would, tape everything and whatever. And I was like, I remember AV stuff from high school. Maybe it's just like that. Yeah. So I applied for it and I got the job. And at where it was quite a coveted job because, it posed really great hours and it paid you quite nicely. And you get to watch a movie the whole time. I don't know, there's something fun about it. And it was interesting. So I first learned how to, splice the film, which I knew how to do that from photography anyway, so that was easy. And how to clean the film. And then, yeah, we started working on how to load the film into the machine and how to operate the machinery and all like that. So the old-fashioned ones I could actually do, and it was not so bad because you just thread it through quite simply. And as long as you just knew what you were doing and you measured things out so it was, good. And as long as you double checked everything you did, which, it was just fine. But if you didn't happen to, which remember, you're working in the dark, which is a lot of fun, that's when the crazy hijinks start. Now, there was a more, what's the word, modern player there too, but you had to put all of the reels on one huge reel. So like usually a movie would take 5 reels, like just a regular hour and a half, 2-hour movie is 5 reels. And you could take all of those and splice them together in order, and then you could put it through this really huge revolving, one. And that was the one that I never got a handle on. That was the one that was the one that caused people to not be able to see. I don't remember which one of those, and I don't even remember what the name of these movies are. The ones with Johnny Depp where they're in the ocean. I don't remember what that's called. And I don't watch those movies, so I don't remember them. And I don't know which number it was, but everyone was so mad because I had messed it up and it ruined their Sunday afternoon. So I did that. I remember when I showed Mission Impossible, and I don't remember which one it was. I just remember seeing Tom Cruise over the top of one of the vehicles, and that was the only part of it that I watched because I was busy with something else. Now, there are 2 different ways that you can put in, basically it's like a frame that gives, how you can get a letterbox or it can be full. So I had put the full one on one side, but I had forgotten that I hadn't changed it on the other machine. So half the movie, people are watching it letterboxd. Half the movie, people are watching the other side. I realized this by, I think, the third reel. Maybe it was more than that. I don't know. And I chose a scene where there was a lot of falling and tumbling happening. And I kind of tricked ahead so that it would look like whoever was falling into this open thing, because I immediately changed it from the letterbox to the full open. So it kind of looked like it was an effect, but it really wasn't. I was messing up. Now, the reels go from the top, of course, and come down to the bottom. If you remember to attach it. But the times you don't, the times I didn't, oh, how many times did I do this? You end up walking through film. It's like the cartoon you can imagine. The film is going everywhere and you just feel like, oh no, what am I doing? I would roll some of it by hand. I would, because you want to keep it off the floor. I would do all kinds of things. There would be some times where I would just look at it and go, I'm just not even going to collect it right now. I'm just going to set the other machine up, get it ready for the switch, and yeah, I'll just deal with this later. And it would just be piling and piling and piling and piling up. And that's just the way film goes. I loved the canisters. The canisters were really cool, and they were huge and very heavy, and I loved that because I loved going up the stairs because it was like this really big stair, and then it was like 50 pounds total, at least 50 pounds, and I loved carrying that up those stairs, and I usually wore my Doc Martens to work. Anyway, they called the reels are Goldberg. I don't know why, but I always thought that was interesting, like Goldberg Brothers or something like that. And the only other one I could say, well, two maybe. There was a secret movie being shown once, and I don't know how to explain that, but it's kind of I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, it was like a surprise showing. Okay, I guess that's a better way. People knew what they were going to go see, but people didn't know what they were going to go see. They just knew that it was like a special. How do I explain this? Whatever. So they had the movie flown in specially, and like security guards basically went and retrieved it right off the plane, because the way that, I guess it might have been Disney who had to specially loan it to us, and then it had to go with these like security people, and I remember them coming to my door, which I'm like, what are you guys doing here? No one's supposed to be up here, because you don't ever let anybody up in the booth, right? And he's like, no, we've got them filmed, which, how much time do I need to set up a reel? Well, I got very quick at that. So it was fine that it was like 2 minutes to show. But if it had been like at the beginning of my shift, or beginning of me learning how to do it, it probably would have been like 10 or 15. But I got quick, so that was fine. There were times, however, that I would mix up the sound, and I don't know. There were these nice buttons, though, that were labeled like fluorescent, glow-in-the-darky stuff. So I would like panic and hit the right button because it was like illuminated in that way. Then there would be times where I would misjudge the time of something, and I would be out on the roof smoking a cigarette with the door open so I can watch and listen, and then like it's always that, quick, I gotta run back into there and make sure. So yeah, that was kind of weird. And what was the other one that happened? I think that was all of them. But yeah, that was one of the jobs I had, and I loved it. I would do it again in a minute, even though I'm like totally dumb about it. But not really. I mean, I did it once I did it. I was fine. But I never could understand that big machine. That one was confusing. And I even taped the guy who was showing me how to do it on my like cell phone or whatever, showing me how to do it so I could watch and do it again. It was still too complicated for me. So, for whatever reason. But yeah, that's my crazy hijinks in the movie showing booth up in the very high areas. Now, you know, they just put in discs and you don't have to run the old machines. But I love those old machines. And we weren't supposed to be smoking out on the roof, of course, because, you know, film is kind of flammable. Um, but everybody who smoked would always ask to come in so that they would smoke out on my roof. And I'd be like, yeah, sure. Because otherwise they'd have to like leave and go out. So that didn't work. But yeah, it was fun doing that. And I was sad when I had to go. But I had to go to Montana, so I had to leave that job. Anyways, Montana was worth it. So Montana was better than movies. Montana was amazing. Montana, yeah, I would like drive all the way across that state. It was fabulous. All right, if you ever get a chance to, like, if you've never seen the Rocky Mountains, see Montana first, because that's where the range actually begins. I wonder if part of it is further up in Canada, but it was magnificent. What I always thought and wished for Colorado to be, Montana is. That makes any sense. Well, I hope you all are doing well, and best and brightest. Peace.